Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching in the world, welcome along to One Hub Racing. This is the Pinnacle Tier, and this is season number 14 and the 9th round of the championship, which takes us to the Austrian Grand Prix in the hills of Spielberg. My name is Kieran McGinley, and joining me instead of Jamie tonight, a change to your usual broadcasting schedule, is Sam Thompson. Sam, how are you tonight?
Hello everybody, and I'm great, thank you very much. It's my first night in One Hub actually. I debuted earlier this evening in Podium Tier, but I'm here to do commentary as well. Be fun, hopefully.
Yeah, you're gonna tire yourself out if you're not careful. But someone who's fresh off the circuit as well, you can give us some really good insight into how everything's going to pan out tonight. We have, of course, a little bit of a change as well from last week. We don't do the lobby walk per se. We now do a pre-race build-up, so we get to talk about the last race, what we're expecting from this race in terms of strategy, and we can also pull in some drivers to have a quick chat as well. So that element will not be lost. Pinnacle Tier has been really good for interviews, so let's keep that up. There were two drivers who were very willing and happy to have an interview, so if we could get Leroy and Clone into the party, Sam, we can get some of the drivers' interviews. I have to say as well, it's a very short track, Austria, and obviously 10 corners according to my map. It's a very short track. One of them doesn't even count. Turn 2 is the left-hander before that harsh braking zone at turn 3. It's a corner, is it? I don't know. But anyway, it counts as a corner, so we've got to count it as such. But 3 DRS zones across, well, pretty much 4 of the straight, Sam. I mean, it is a DRS fest. That would be an understatement.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to focus on getting Clone and that in. Anyway, just say that again, remind me, sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry about it. First night nerves, that's all it is. I was saying, really, with the Austrian track, there's about 4 straights here. You've got the straight from the last corner to the first corner to third corner to fourth, and then you've got the sort of kink of turn 8 and a short run down towards turn 9. Now, 3 of those straights have DRS, so, I mean, how did you find it out there earlier on, Sam?
Well, early on, despite all the drama going on with that, I think it went pretty well. I think the problem with the circuit is when you get in later into the Grand Prix, maybe later on, just your tyre state in general. Because your tyres at the end will noticeably wear out. I noticed on the last 2 laps of the race myself, when I was turning around, like I think it was, I'm guessing it's turn 3, because I believe there was like, on that straight there's like a turn in between, isn't there? But yeah, my tyres were all over the place and I felt like I was just going to spin out. And this is one of those tracks also which is very easy, especially in turn 1 now for some reason. It's very easy to corner cut, which is probably going to be a problem for some of our drivers today. But despite that, I feel like the track is quite nice. The elevation changes can kind of surprise a few drivers if they're not careful.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've got a couple of drivers joining us this time round. First up we have Leroy, last time's race winner, the Irishman. Leroy, how are you feeling tonight?
Well, obviously I'm happy about last week.
Obviously at the French Grand Prix you really showed your stuff out there. How much confidence does that give you heading into the next round here at Austria?
Well, obviously it gives a lot of confidence knowing that you can follow the front. And yeah, I'm still haven't made my mind up with the strategy yet, so I'm just gonna go by what happens in the race.
Well, I hope you figure it out soon, because we'd like to know too. wink, nudge. Anyway,
I'm not saying any strategies.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. No, keep it under your cap. We don't need to know. As well as that, Leroy, obviously you're now trying to lead a charge with Racing Point. You're 44 points behind Williams. How optimistic are you of closing that gap up?
Oh, just because the Williams drivers have been on form this season, so it's not going to be easy, but they've been, I'd say, meh. They haven't been great in the last few rounds, so if my teammate Ronnie, I don't know his name, and I pick up some points, we could close the gap.
Could close the gap indeed. And how do you think the season's gone so far for you? Obviously you've only been in a couple of rounds so far, but it must be nice getting some 2 podiums next to your name so far.
Yeah, I mean the 2 races are finished to be second and first, so it's a good record, but
It's a very good record, 100% on the podium so far. But how do you think the Austrian Grand Prix will go for you? Obviously, it's quite a short track. It's very power heavy, and are you looking forward to it mainly?
Well, it's going to be a slipstream fest. Let's be realistic here. Well, who knows? I mean, if you're out on the front and there's about 2 cars behind you, they're going to be there for the whole race. I don't care. If someone's in the DRS, they're staying there. Doesn't matter.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Leroy. Good luck in the race tonight. Looking to make it back-to-back wins. Good luck in Austria.
Thank you.
And next up we have Clone in the party here. 7th place last time out at the French Grand Prix and currently 10th in the championship as it stands. Clone, you're very welcome to the pre-race build-up. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel a bit pumped up with scoring some more points to my name last week. Bit of a disappointment what happened between me and Lewis, but as Praga, me and him settled that out. So good race, good luck to him in the race today, and I don't know, I have to see what the strategy is. I've got a strategy in my head what I think could work, but it depends what the weather's like. So
and obviously you brought up that incident at the French Grand Prix. I guess the less said about it the better, but it's good to hear that you both have patched it up heading towards the race. I just want to say as well, with the constructors standings, obviously 9th place right now, 28 points to the team's name. We're heading towards the halfway point in the season, so what are the team's targets? Have they had a chat with both of you yet?
No, not yet, but they'll probably have a chat with us soon. Our main goal, I believe, is first, I think. But we'll have to wait and see what we can do to get some points, get in. At the end of the day, I'm not expecting to win any races or get any podiums. I'm not at that pace yet, so we'll just have to wait and see, and you never know, there could be a few surprises later on in the season. As you say, it's only halfway now, in theory, so it's still got far to go. But it depends how everybody else drives around here today and the rest of the race coming up.
Yeah, and you're slap bang in the middle of the Drivers' Championships right now. 10th place, 24 points to your name so far. You're 5 points behind Unknown and only a point ahead of Asahina. So what are your targets for the rest of the season? Where do you hope to finish?
I hope to finish higher than 15th, because I don't expect myself to be 10th much longer. I'm not as the quickest. I'm probably one of the 3rd slowest guys here. I've just been very lucky and consistent with scoring points each race the races I've entered, so yeah.
Well, thank you for talking to us, Clone. Good luck with the race. We'll leave you alone now to finalise your strategy. Good luck out there.
Alright, thank you very much. Cheers.
So there we have 2 drivers, one race winner last time out, the other having that instant, as we say, at the French Grand Prix there at that turn 10. And as we're saying here, Sam, there's a quiet sense of confidence heading into the Austrian Grand Prix, at least with the 2 drivers we've spoken to.
Yeah, I mean, I think all drivers, especially in the top half, who've got a great battle going on. I've noticed that Leon, Ollie and Nexus Legend, there's like 6 points between them at the front, and that's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top there. You've also got the fact that like in the middle, if you've noticed, like I think it's between 12th and 8th, there's a massive battle for that 8th place, especially even 7th as well. Maybe if Taze Leroy calms down a little bit, because obviously he's on a roll at the moment. But despite that, there are a lot of battles on track, and it could be a very entertaining race, especially like I think it was Taze Leroy who said, forgive me if I'm wrong, he said it's like a DRS train, it's a slipstream train here and everything. You're expecting a lot of overtakes on the straights, and that could really be the decider in this race today of where everyone finishes in general.
Absolutely, and being such a short track, obviously that really puts that priority in qualifying. We say in Formula 1 there's not much room for error, there's not really a margin for error. It's even less so here at Austria. How important is qualifying, Sam, here?
I think it's very important, especially going down to turn 1. You want really that clear track, so if you get on pole, it's probably much better than being in the midfield. In the midfield, they all stack up, you become very close and sometimes become a little bit uncomfortable. because obviously you've got all these drivers around you and you don't know, an incident could be coming your way. Also, you've got to consider just how difficult it may be to keep your position around this track as well, because like I said, it's like a slipstream train and everyone's just going to be up your inside right behind you. Is probably going to give you a scare a little bit, especially going into turn 3 on lap 1. I noticed as well the overshooting on that turn as well. I noticed on the first corner was absolutely horrific for me, and it ended up me getting a little bit of damage because, you know, it is what it is. And yeah, my race didn't go too well, but it's not about me, it's about all these drivers, and I believe it should be a very fun race today.
And let's hope that it is. And thank you very much for joining us. Obviously, if you've just joined us from the Precision Tier, well, you won't have yet because they're still going on. But if you've stuck around from the Podium Tier, welcome along. Obviously, don't forget we have Alex in the Prestige Tier at 9:30. But hopefully, you'll stay with us for the entirety of the Pinnacle Tier stream. If there's anything that is going on here, well, it's the battle between the top two. Leon on 115, Flavel on 113. Then let's not forget Legend on 109. If we could be seeing here that any one of those three drivers heading towards the British Grand Prix could be leading the championship in about 40, well, let's say around about, what's that going to be? About an hour and 15 minutes. We're going to find out who's top of the table.
That could be very, very close. These three are going to be absolutely striving to go into the 10th round. Sorry, yeah, the 10th round, top of the championship. Going by how many wins he's got, I think Leon might get this win. I don't know though, because I don't know what the pace is of some of the drivers around here. I know that Taze Leroy, he's come off a win in the second place. He's on a high at the moment. He could be definitely a contender. You just don't know about the McLaren or Flavel or Legend in general. You don't know about any of those drivers, to be honest. They could all have a great race. I believe this tier is just very close, in my opinion, all around the track, so it could be very interesting.
Lots of drivers heading out onto the track. That sort of gives me a clue as to what they think the weather is going to look like. Now, it is pretty overcast at the moment. I'm not going to rule out any rain towards the end of qualifying. I remember my first season in One Hub Racing. We were actually at the British Grand Prix with one of the legends of One Hub, Jono, up in the commentary box with me. We sat through the sort of first, what was it, sort of 8 minutes of qualifying. Then it just was a washout and no one took to the track for the remaining 10 minutes. So Jono and I had to sit there thinking of things to talk about. But luckily it was only for 10 minutes and that was about it. So let's hope we don't have that sort of session here today. But let's have a lap on board with the Toro Rosso driver of Cologne. Finished 7th last time out at the French Grand Prix. So we make our way on towards the first corner here, using that curve on the left hand side to open up the entrance of the corner nice and smooth and hitting that apex fine there as we head now towards this slight left-hander of turn 2 and then up towards turn 3. It's uphill here. Now braking hard for the tight right-hander, one of the slowest corners of the track. Watch the traction on the exit of turn 3. Very easy to spin up the rear tyres as you now head down the hill towards turn 4. Braking and going downhill, very easy recipe to lock up the front brakes. Watch the traction on the exit of turn 4. Very easy to overcommit. Now heading through turn 6 here. Again, nice and smooth on the entry, very easy to overcommit through turn 6. Then we head through turn 7 here, bumpy on entry into the corner, then through turn 8, full throttle through there, over the crest as we head towards turn 9, very awkward pit lane entrance as well, braking and turning in, hoping the car will stick, then gliding and flying our way through turn 10, watching the entry and exit of the corner, very easy to invalidate your lap time, and that's Cologne then with a 105.1. So a very quick lap time. I wouldn't be surprised here, Sam, if we see lap times into the 103s.
I can't agree more. I mean, I'm just looking at the tyre strategies at the moment. If you notice, Asahina, Vagabonds and Skeeven, they're all on hard tyres. And you said about the threat of rain. If there is a threat of rain, that's a very interesting strategy, I would have thought. I don't think it looks like it's probably going to be raining as early as you think it is. I think it may rain in 10 minutes, if so, I don't know though. It could rain out of nowhere.
No, we're sort of in the dark about race, or at least what the weather's going to be like. We just have to look at the sky and see what happens. But at the moment, Flavel's just put in a 104.2, which puts him at the top of the table. Lap times are coming in thick and fast. We've got Skeeven there on the hard tyres, 105.5. Now, of course, with a shorter track, that means the delta between the soft tyres and the hard tyres are obviously going to be much less, but still, that's 1.3 seconds. That's not entirely out of the ballpark there.
So, yeah, you were saying about the 1 minute 03s we'll be getting into. I wonder if Steven can pull off a lap time like a 1 minute 03, because that sounds like an amazing lap. To be honest, 1 minute 05 on hard tyres around the circuit, it's a pretty decent lap time. Considering I was getting them lap times on the softs, just it makes me look embarrassed a little bit, if I'm being honest, but enough about that.
Well, there you go. The bar has been set, ladies and gentlemen. Sam's expecting. Make sure you deliver. But yeah, sorry, it happened during the hot lap there. What exactly happened to Westy there, Sam?
I didn't notice what happened to Westy, but I just noticed like immediately he just tired. I'm not sure what happened to him because I weren't on board with him. I believe there's ILRT Leon is off. I don't know if he's off intentionally or if he's locked up or something.
That doesn't look intentional to me. He's definitely had a moment. That's through turn 4 and on entrance to turn 5. So yeah, he might have run wide a little bit. It's very easy when you're going around Austria here to try and explore the track limits as much as possible. Looks like Leon has just taken a trip to the gravel there, and obviously championship leader, but only by 2 points, under a little bit of pressure as we head towards the halfway stage in this championship. And there is that awkward pit lane entrance, which starts on the inside of the corner, overlaps onto the racing line, and then peels away from the circuit. Zan, how did your tier manage with that one?
Well, I didn't really notice since I wasn't much near where like other guys were. I think they handled it okay though, but not gonna lie, it was one of those awkward like turning corners. Since you come into the pits, you come in at quite a quick speed, you just want to get through into the pit lane nice and quickly, nice and simple. And I believe on my second stop, because I had to do a 2-stop in the end because my hard tyres would not make it to the end. I believe I went onto the grass a little bit because it was kind of like I wouldn't say a lorry because that just seems too much, but when your tyres are in really bad condition around that corner, it can be a very awkward sort of corner to get round, if I'm being honest.
And just having a look in the chat, that is Flavel in the chat saying closing the gap. Yeah, 2 points now, that's all it is. And that is Badgerman, that's Austin Badgerman Smith in the chat there. Pretty much telling and saying one of my favourite phrases in Formula 1 ever: hills, sound, music, and the rest. That's it, that's all I'm going to say on it. But anyway, it has been announced that from next week he will be a full-time commentator in the Precision Tier. So good luck to him there. He'll be joining up with Ollie sorry, Owen. Oh no, that's not gone well. Yeah, he'll be joining Owen Wyatt in the chat there. It's almost like that mistake was intentional. But it wasn't. Anyway,
he's on the lap time right now. He's moved over to the mediums. A few on softs as well.
So he is still in mode 0 on his ERS, so he's definitely on some sort of out lap, or he's abandoned that lap, whatever the case is.
I'm wondering if he's done that thing that I was on about earlier about turn 1. If he's accidentally gone a little bit over and he's ended up having to abort his lap because of corner cutting. That was a real major issue for me, and I got a 6-second time penalty at the end of the race, but it's mainly down to turn 1. It's a terrible corner this year, so I don't know.
Here is Forbes then, making his way through turn 9, then on towards turn 10, running just about on the limit then out of turn 10 as he makes his way towards the start-finish line. That's a 104.5 from the Mercedes driver. That puts him onto the second row in 4th place. At the moment, it is Flavel on provisional pole position. Albrecht there in 7th place as he makes his way towards the line, 104.9. He now is there in 7th place, so that's the 3rd row of the grid, I believe. No, 4th row of the grid. But yeah, we've got Unknown here, who's in the pit lane. Now, we were talking about how in the last race at the French Grand Prix, he was under a huge amount of pressure. I mean, I was talking to Jamie last week. Obviously, he co-commentates the Pinnacle Tier normally. He's actually down in the Precision Tier this week because we've had a couple of full-time commentators not feeling 100%. They're ill. There's an illness going around, so unfortunate for them. But hopefully, they're watching along for tonight. But Jamie was saying that he was in contact with the Renault team boss. He was very, very close to actually being dropped by Renault altogether, and then he managed to finish 4th place, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is his best finish of the season. So that's a way to try and silence your critics. But Sam, how important is it to build momentum?
I think it's very important. If you don't build momentum, you feel so inconsistent and it just makes you feel bad. To be honest with you, I think it's probably one of the most important things about a driver or just a player in any sports in general. If you don't have any momentum at all, you just don't feel good when you're driving. It's just that momentum that it drags you forward, it pulls you on, it gives you that confidence, that motivation. With no it's that consistency that matters. If you've got consistency, it builds up your momentum. But I don't know, because I think momentum's important. But I don't think it's too important, but it's very hard to explain, if you know what I mean.
I think I get the gist of it.
Yeah,
but sorry, I was just going to say here, Asahina coming into the pit lane, obviously happy with so far. He's currently in 11th place. Of course, he's one of our race premium members here at OneHub, £9.99 per year to contribute, and you get yourself a race premium account with OneHub Racing. Entirely voluntary, of course. You don't have to pay, but you do reap some pretty good benefits, including a driver card. If you want more information, make sure you follow at OneHub Racing for all the details on how you can become a race premium member and what the benefits entail. Leroy then coming into the pits from 4th place. Leon then 104.1 from our championship leader. We are on the cusp of the 103s here, Sam. It's got to happen, surely.
Gonna happen soon, I think. Although I say that, I don't know about the weather. I don't know about the temperature. The temperatures might be a bit too cold for that. The track might not be at optimum temperature. I don't know, but I don't think we might not get into the 1 minute 03s because everyone is setting lap times. I mean, I think Nexus Legend has a good chance, but besides that, I think like the lap times are too slow in my opinion. So far to get into 1 minute 3s, but then again, I don't know if these drivers are just doing banker laps at the moment. You don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Every driver has a different strategy and different ways of showing when they're going to actually bring the pace on fully 100%.
There's Praga then turning up the heat, a 104.3, which puts him onto the 2nd row of the grid. And we were talking about, and in the sort of pre-season show, how we were talking about the Williams of Leon and Praga could be a pairing, a dream pairing for Williams. They are top of the constructors, but Leon currently leads the championship and Praga down in 6th there. Now, how do you think Praga's feeling so far this season?
I don't know. Let me just have a look at the standings. I think he might feel a little bit unhappy with himself since he's been, I wouldn't say dominated, but he's being beaten by his teammate quite convincingly. Not so convincingly though. He's only 50 points behind him, but he probably wants to be much closer to his teammate come the end of the season. But right now he's in 3rd place. He's behind the 2 championship leaders. I think it shows that he's starting to gain the pace again, especially in this race alone. Hopefully he can pick up more points, obviously, this season. But I believe that's pole positions P on the standing. Apologies if I have too much knowledge on one or too much because it's my debut, like I said. But
just to say there, Janol goes quicker, about 2/10 quicker, 104.187, 200ths off of Leon there. Sorry to cut across you there, Sam.
Ooh. That's alright. He has been able to get 3 pole positions. It's just can he emulate those pole positions into wins, because he hasn't won a race yet this season, but it seems like qualifying is probably the better for him. But if he wins a race, maybe he could be a threat to his teammate again.
Absolutely. That is Sam Hunt in the chat there, which is Samster, saying he's here for a weekly dose of me. Miscommentating him on his championship winning season. Of course, that was season 13. where he won in the Ferrari. He won the title in Japan. I remember that one. That was quite a crowning moment, a glory moment there for Samster. All that hard work and effort paid off there. We have got a car off at sector 3. I'm not sure if that's just someone getting out of the way. It is Bag of Bones just getting out of the way there of the incoming Janul, not realising he's on, or he's not on a flying lap, I should say. Z3 at the moment is the only driver yet to set a competitive lap time. He's currently there, of course, in 16th without having set a lap time. And Sam's actually just corrected me. It was actually season 12. Was it season 12, Sam? Are you sure? No, I've been proven wrong before. Oh well. Yeah, it probably was season 12.
Fastest. And he's also gone on two lap softs as well. So, to be honest with you, I haven't seen a driver set a pole lap yet who has not gone a lap before it, so that's interesting. I don't think Leon's going to do the same since he's not using any ARS. So that's interesting in my opinion. And this track does wear your tyres out, I wouldn't say easily, but it can be kind of a pain. But right now no drivers are looking likely to get into a 1 minute freeze as it stands.
As it stands then, with just over 3.5 minutes to go, it is Leon who leads the way in qualifying. Janul is in second, Skiven in third, with Flavel in fourth. We've got Praga there in fifth place, currently on a flying lap. Legend in sixth, Leroy seventh, with Unknown in eighth. Forbes there in 9th, with Slater in 10th, Clone 11th, Asahina 12th, Albrecht in 13th, Ron Line in 14th, Bagabones 15th, and Z3 yet to set a lap time. Westy retired from the session very early on. And looking at the board here, I'm just going to flick over to gap to the leader. The top 15 separated by 1.4 seconds. Now that's Leon on a 104.1 and Bag of Bones is on the medium tyres. So if we take Ron Line as the next soft, or the last of the soft runners right now, 1.3 seconds separates the entire field right now.
Damn, that's not that much at all, really, is it? And considering that, despite Ron Line and Bag of Bones maybe being a little bit more behind than the others, you got to think Jonas is only 7/10 off. That is not that much at all, really. And the Praga's going for a lap now. He's not improved though. He's 0.003 on the second though, just off improving. That's
very,
who
very
I was
close.
watching.
Very, very close there to bettering his lap time. But I'm assuming.
Watch out for Rob Forbes. He is 1/10 up at the moment. Not going to challenge the leaders, but may get up there into the top 5 maybe.
Yeah, certainly challenging for that third row of the grid then as he flies his way through turn 10. Just slightly missing that apex there, but now we can try and make it up with the DRS zone, and up to 6th place he goes. So that is third row of the grid then for Forbes, a 104.394, just 100th away from Praga, 100th and a bit away from Praga then. That's really the margins we were talking about, Sam, before qualifying started, of how close this qualifying session is going to be and how crucial this session actually is.
Yeah, it's quite crucial. Honestly, it's probably the most crucial part of this Grand Prix, especially before the strategies come into play, because strategies can be very important around this track. As I say earlier, the hards and everything, they go off quite quickly at this circuit. There's not too much difference in wear between the softs and the hards, if we're going to be completely honest. I think this is very also important because Austria isn't too tight, but like I said about the slipstream sort of thing, if you're at the front, you need to get a good exit out of turn 1, but then again, behind you as well, if you're in the midfield, you've got to be careful because everyone's going to be bundled up trying to get that position in there. So to be near the front, it's probably better to be near the back, to be honest. But if you're at the back, maybe you've got a good chance to get some slipstream.
Here comes Leon then towards the line to start what will be his last attempt to try and grab pole position here. And as you saw from the board there, 64 seconds. It's not often you get to see that low time on the board there. You know, it's just over a minute. It's hard to believe those lap times here, but as we head towards the final couple of seconds then of qualifying, Leon on a lap. Janul is on a lap as well. He's got a Red Bull behind him. I'm trying to think, is that yeah, they're all on a lap now, so everybody's out there.
I think no. I think Ollie's the first one to finish. I'm just gonna go around the final 2 corners, look a decent lap.
Checker flag is out then as Flavel makes his way towards the line. He can't improve. No, he can't
Stevens
improve.
about to finish.
And he improves. No, he
But
doesn't
not
actually.
enough.
No, he doesn't
Well,
improve. But here's
doesn't
Leon now,
improve.
who's a 10th up through the second sector now.
Oh.
More than a 10th. This could be
Is
the
he gonna
103
prove it
we're
wrong?
waiting for. Here is Leon then around the final corner and towards the start-finish line. Can he get into the 103s? Yes, he can. 103.9 from Leon then. That is pole position right now. How about Janul? Oh, he's lost it. He's lost it completely. Keeps it out of the wall though, just at the top of the screen. But yeah, just lost it on the exit of turn 9, and that is Janul's qualifying over and done with. Legend, meanwhile, up to second place there. Great lap time from the Red Bull driver, 104.1, and I think it's only Clone and Asahina left to finish off their lap times. In fact, Clone is not setting a lap time at all.
Asahina's retired as well.
And Asahina's retired as well, so that means then this is your pole position sitter then, as everybody has completed qualifying. Leon grabs pole position with a 103.9.
What a lap time. Absolutely out of nowhere compared to everyone else. One tenth up, and we were saying how close it was before that lap time was put, and now he's just put it all to bed, and now he's 1/10 up from everyone else. It's still, if you look at the gap to the leader, though, it's still there's less than a second between everyone in the grid, and that is really impressive.
Yeah, actually, I didn't spot that. Yeah, less than a second covers the entire field that set a lap time. Z3 did not set a lap time. I'm not sure what happened there. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe he couldn't get a clean lap in. That might be why. And Westy, of course, retired early on in the session, so they are the only two that didn't set a lap time. But yeah, from the drivers throughout the field who did set a lap time, only or less than a second separates them and the entire field. But there is your pole position sitter. It is Leon starting this one from the pole position slot. And there is the full results from qualifying. And so Leon, the only person into the 103s here in the Pinnacle Tier. Legend then is starting alongside him with a 104.1. Second row of Janul and Skeven. Third row of Flavel and Unknown. Fourth row of Leroy and Praga. Fifth row of Forbes and Clone. Sixth row Slater and Ronline. Seventh row Bag of Bones and Asahina. Eighth row Albrecht and Z3, and then on the ninth row, all on his own, is Westy there. Of course, Z3 and Westy did not set a lap time during that qualifying session, and of course all of the top 10 have to start on the tyre they set their fastest lap on in qualifying, which for all of the top 10 is the soft tyre. Anyone outside the top 10 can start on whatever tyre they like. But Sam, I want to come to you about a potential strategy. Just give us in 30 seconds what a strategy we could be seeing here tonight.
I think it's probably best for everyone to start on the softs. Maybe start on the hards and then go on to the softs towards the end. If you're good pace on the hards, I definitely recommend starting on the hards and going on to the softs. But I think everyone should start on the softs. Maybe get a few on the mediums as well. See if they can get a long run. Like I said, there's not too much difference between. Well, there's obviously a big difference, but compared to other circuits, there's not too much of a difference between softs and the hards, I believe. Because I believe my hards could only last around 23 laps, but someone also in the league was able to stretch it to 31 laps, so you're definitely able to stretch it big time, but in my opinion, I think the best strategy would probably have to be soft medium.
Well, there you go then. Sam has spoken, and we make our way now for the formation lap here, one of the shortest formation laps on the grid, as we make our way now up towards turn 1. Remember as well that One Hub Racing is sponsored by Next Level Racing, who will be providing a wheel stand for every single winner in the championship, of course, in each of the 4 tiers. So that's what's on the line in this championship. You can follow them at Next LVL Racing, and make sure as well you follow the league on Twitter. It's at One Hub Racing, and if you're there and if you want to pop by, you can follow me if you like. It's at KSMCGF1, and you can follow Sam making his One Hub debut not only on track but also in the commentary box as well. A bizarre night for you, Sam.
Yeah, out of nowhere, I believe it was Liam. I don't know if you've done commentary with him before. I believe you have done. I asked Liam if there was any commentary jobs, because I don't mind doing commentary at all, and not gonna lie, it's something I don't mind doing, and Although I probably would have liked to do it with Liam, like, but so far it's been.
You're making enemies already,
no,
Sam.
No, I don't mean it like that. No. I said originally I'd rather be with, I would have been with Liam originally because I don't know you personally. I don't know you at all because I didn't know you beforehand and all this, but I think it's gone pretty well ever since we've met, but beforehand I was like getting all scared and iffy because I'm not very good with new people at all. But, you know, it's a pretty hefty night, pretty long night, but I'm fine with it.
I mean, I'm going to act like those words didn't hurt. Anyway, Leon now making his way towards the grid, then leading them on towards the grid. And now, for the 9th round of One Hub Pinnacle Tier, we are now moments away from the Austrian Grand Prix. Obviously, it's an ascent up towards turn 1, which can help with the braking. You can brake slightly later, but of course, whilst you're sitting there on the grid, those brakes will be cooling down. Forbes did lead and has now rejoined the session, so because he was there for the start, he'll be able to take the start. But here we are then, as we wait for those 5 red lights to start counting out. It seems like an age for these drivers here, waiting, but here we are now for the Austrian Grand Prix. It is 5 red lights. Round 9 is underway, and what are the starts like? It's a really good start from Legend then, and he takes the lead then as we head towards turn 1. The Red Bull at the Red Bull ring takes the lead, but Leon runs wide on the exit of turn 1, and is he able to try and keep up the challenge then as we head all the way through turn 2, and then upwards towards turn 3. Have a look in the background as well. They're 3 wide behind them, between a Renault, a Williams, and a Racing Point, trying to filter their way through in towards turn 4. That's a Renault running wide there. That was unknown as we head now.
There's the Praga and James Slater. James Slater's got some damage, I think. Actually, no, someone's got some damage there. It was an end plate loss. I'm not sure who it was at the back there.
We'll try and have a figure out once the first lap melee is all over and done with. Let's have a look at Bag of Bones there, who's run wide at turn 4. It looks like his car is okay for now, but meanwhile though, Leon has retaken the lead once again as he now tries to run away now from Legend behind you. But it was a fantastic start from Legend, but on the inside there, it's just really nowhere to go. Praga now moves up to 11th place ahead of Ulbrich now, as we now make our way down towards turn 10. But after the first lap here, of course, it's a very quick lap. Even on a starting or a standing start, we're still reaching into the 1:10.8. But at the end of the first lap then, it is Leon who leads, Legend in 2nd, Janul 3rd, Skeven 4th, Flavel in 5th, Asahina 6th, Clone 7th, African in 8th, Leroy 9th, Ronline in 10th, Praga 11th, Ulbricht in 12th, Westy in 13th, Slater 14th, Z3 in 15th, Forbes is in 16th and Vagabonds in 17th. Leroy now just makes a pass for 8th place as he gets his way past Unknown in towards turn 3. And meanwhile, Legend is trying to push and get that pressure on the Williams ahead. Meanwhile, Praga here and Ron Line make contact going into turn 4 there. And Praga here is on the soft tyres. Of course, he has to make this soft tyre stint work because Ron Line started outside the top 10. He started on the medium tyres here. Meanwhile, Asahina and Clone are battling for position here. Clone tried to move just before turn 8. Didn't quite happen for him. And Asahina is able to hold on to that position then as we make our way now through turn 9. Who are you watching, Sam?
I was watching the Praga. I was actually going to go on to him. He's had a bit of a poor start, hasn't he, really? He's gone down 3 positions, but he had a bit of a funny start. After turn 3, his Williams decided to... there was like 3 or 4 cars. They were side by side, and then his Williams was just piled on top of him. And I don't know who it was who had damage, but I swear I saw an end plate coming off. But he's not really had the start he would have wanted.
Leroy trying to get a move done on the Toro Rosso of Clone as we make our way now in towards turn 3. Clone just riding that curb on the inside. It cost him that stability in the car, and that was Leroy getting 7th place. That all started from turn 1 there, where Clone just got a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the corner, and that allowed Leroy to have a move then. Run line locking up there into turn 4, and Praga just couldn't quite take advantage there, but look how close Legend is to the back of Leon then as they make their way through turn 8 and on towards turn 9. Remember, out of Leon, Legend and Flavel, whoever wins this race, Sam, will be leading the championship heading towards Silverstone.
It's great. Honestly, it's probably the tightest you could have ever asked for really at this point. Just a quick mention to AOI Asahina right now. He's moved up 8 places already up to 6th place. He started 14th on the grid. He's had an amazing start so far. I don't know if that may have to do with anything with like Praga's incident or anything, but he got through it pretty well, and he's now being pressured by Taze Leroy, and he's losing to Flavel a little bit. So Leroy goes up the inside of him and makes the move.
Yeah, nice move from him. Of course,
Nexus is leading now. He's got DRS, I think.
Yes, he has, and he has taken the lead. You're absolutely right. Passes him just before turn 4. So Legend now leads the way. The Danish man is now leading here in Austria. Meanwhile, Skeven here is looking to try and find a way past. That's Janul. So the McLaren's running 4th and 5th right now. Not bad from them, but I know Flavel knows he'll want to try and get up the order as quickly as he possibly can. Praga trying to stay on the back of Ron Line here. Ron Line runs a little bit wide off the exit of turn 8, maybe taking a little bit too much curve as we make our way now through turn 9 and then on towards turn 10. You see Praga then opting to take a tighter line to give him more grip. Well, you would expect that because he's on those softer tyres there. Obviously Pirelli have brought the softest range of tyres here. The hard tyres are the C3, the medium tyres are C4, and then of course the soft tyres are the C5. So we really have brought the softest spectrum of tyres here at the Austrian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, Westy and Ron Line, Praga has left the session, so currently running now in 13th place. He'll be running as a ghost car. Let's hope he can rejoin the session, but right now that is Westy, who's now got himself into the top 10, having had to start from last place. But Legend still holding on to this lead. There is action everywhere you look because Asahina's now got past Clone. A little bit of lag there, as a little bit of lag is affecting the lobby. Hopefully it won't be too bad.
I was going to say, I noticed that early on, Leon was like miles behind Legend all of a sudden, but although he was still like, I don't know, a 10th off still, I had no clue what was going on there, but hopefully the lobby does stable.
Yes, hopefully it is a little bit more stable, and hopefully you're enjoying the action at home as we now make our way up towards turn 1. You see there Leon just filling that Red Bull mirror with a little bit of Rocket Williams then out of turn 1, and of course the Williams will have some DRS as we make our way through turn 2 and onwards towards turn 3. This looks like a good run from Leon. He looks towards the inside line and tries to brake early to try and get the move done. They're running side by side on the exit of turn 3, heading our way now down towards turn 4, and Leon does have the DRS, so he actually held back so that he could have to have a look at Janul though, coming down towards turn 4. He takes full advantage, going up the inside of the Red Bull and takes that position away. The Alfa Romeo then up to 2nd place, an optimistic move from Janul, and it's paid off big time.
Skeven as well, just behind as well, those 3. Watch out for him, he's just gone in for a little bit of a dive on Legend. He's kind of benefited from it, and I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up getting Legend as well. So let's call it perhaps, depending on ERS. Skeven has a lot, and I guess Nexus has quite a bit as well, so that's helpful for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, Skeven was last time out's driver of the day, so he's got that momentum building as well. Janul challenging for the lead of the race then up the inside at turn 1. A little bit of contact with the Williams there. That's going to compromise him on the exit of turn 1. Meanwhile, Legend takes away P2. Here is Skeven here, who's looking for a move. Look at this then. It's going to be a Constantina effect up towards turn 3. Leon there somehow comes out leading this one, does he? Very, very close there. But Legend just can't quite find that move. That could have ended in tears, but fair play to these drivers, they know what they're doing as we make our way now down towards turn 4. Leon still holds on to this lead, but the top 5 are so close together. This is great stuff.
Dasahina and Clone are battling. What's happened there? I mean, nothing's happened. They're side by side at the moment, despite that.
Absolutely.
Still a massive train here, and don't forget Taze Leroy's in this fight as well. If you look behind, he's closing in on them. He's less than a second behind them now, and he joins this DRS train that he was on about, so hopefully for him.
Well, I was just going to say here that there's the 2 Renaults are making a Toro Rosso sandwich right now. It could have really ended in a sandwich as we headed towards turn 8. Clone is trying to attack Asahina as we make our way now up towards turn 1. That is Asahina on the inside, Clone on the outside. Who's going to get the better exit? I'm just going to switch on to the lead of the race here, the battle for the lead, because it looked like a little bit of a Constantina was about to happen there. But meanwhile, the Renaults are now battling in towards turn 3. A little bit of lag there, and it helps Asahina Ghost and avoid any collision there, but Cologne just about holds on, and there's now forming a DRS train for 7th place, and look at that then, that's the Renault of Unknown there, trying to go around the outside of Asahina through turn 4, and he's got the move done. Great move from Asahina, but he's now got the inside line here for turn number 6. He's just about held on to that one, and now moves up to 8th place, but Leon's doing really well here, hanging on to the lead of this race.
At the moment they're all saving ERS, it looks like, as well, if you just check the dashboard. Actually I think Yunal's gone up in ERS, but a lot of them are saving ERS still at the moment. They're not really using too much. They're kind of saving, they're kind of waiting for that moment where they can strike. They're not trying to push that moment, which is very, very good from the drivers in my opinion.
I mean, as we head now up towards turn 3, Leon still holding on to this lead. I mean, what's your thoughts then if you're Leroy right now? You've got 5 cars battling for the lead of the race. I'm actually just going to interrupt myself because Unknown has got past Clone, then he's now up to 7th place. Asahina and Westy battling away for positions. I mean, there's no room to talk about anything else here, Sam. It's strictly battles only. Unknown down the inside at turn 4. We've got a racing point off there. That was Run Line running off at turn 4. He's having to rejoin here, and he'll be down the order, down to 14th place. Unknown's trying to stick it around the outside at turn 7. That's very harsh. Yeah, that's very harsh from the stewards.
That's the section as well. He's very, very unhappy with that then.
Yeah,
he's left out.
I mean, I would be unhappy too if I was awarded a 10-second time penalty for running off the track, losing all those positions, and then still getting slapped with that 10-second time penalty. Yeah, I'd be feeling the same way. But what I was going to say, which we won't have time to answer, so give yourself a 10-second answer. If you've got the top 5 battling for position, you're Leroy, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking just wait for a mistake to happen, because at the moment it looks like something's going to happen, but these drivers do seem pretty clean and pretty close. I think Leroy needs to close in a little bit more though to really challenge Ollie, maybe for position, and maybe even get in some momentum to maybe bring it forward. Legends
going around the outside at turn 4, but that was Leon there who shut the door, and that allows Janul to get through. Steven as well, trying to go side by side now with the Red Bull, as Legend holds on to the inside line, gives him the space, fair play to him. But Legend knows that it's going to be a hard fight between him and Leon if he's got to try and make that move stick. But this time Janul will try and move up towards turn 9. No, Wisely backs out of it. I think wisely so. That's the right call. You don't really want to be making a move through turn 9 or 10. We've got a car into the pits, have we? I think we have. Yes, Flavel is the first driver into the pit. So the man from Jersey, second place in the championship, into the pit lane.
What tyres do you think he's going to go on?
I think he's going to go on the hards. Because I think he's trying to get out of this train so he can buy himself some time on the undercut. Here comes Janul then. Meanwhile, taking the lead of the race then up towards turn 3. So the Alfa Romeo now leads, but Leon here will have the DRS heading down towards turn 4. So it's not over for him just yet as we make our way now downhill towards turn 4. But Janul now leads at the Austrian Grand Prix. We've got plenty of battling happening behind as well. That's Westy off track at turn 4. Not quite sure what happened there, but battling between him and Asahina is getting hot now as we head down towards turn 4. On board with Forbes then, as Bag of Bones looks to try and put some pressure on Asahina. Meanwhile, that's still battling away with Westy as we head our way towards turn 5.
5-second time penalty.
Yeah, and he was the grass on the outside there of turn 5 again. I think that's very harsh. The grass slows you down, so I don't know why you'd get a penalty for that. But meanwhile, we've got yellow flags there in sector 3, and that is Unknown. Yeah, Unknown is off the track then. And that was, he was battling between Asahina at least, his teammate. So not quite sure what happened there. Forbes then comes into the pits then. That was from 10th place. And I wonder if this Mercedes is coming in just for a tyre change. Yes, he is. So new tyres on then for the Mercedes, and away he goes. Meanwhile then, that was Flavel coming out on the hard tyres. Meanwhile, Forbes has gone onto the medium tyres then. So he's looking to try and make those tyres last, what's that, 25 laps?
Be roughly 24-25 laps. I'm a little bit surprised that none of the top 5 have actually reacted to the fact that Ollie has gone into the pits. Oh, Skeven's off! Skeven's off! What happened there? He got a little bit of oversteer. I think he's got onto the grass a little bit, but he's still maintaining 5th. He's not lost it. Next is Legends now lost it. the wear is now starting to show on these soft tyres. Oh my word!
Yeah, absolutely. And
Legend who should react.
Yeah, Legend, who was battling for the lead there, now finds himself all the way down to 8th place. And Flavel there, who came in early to put on a set of hard tyres, now is sort of reaping the benefits here because he had that clear air. He's 3.5 behind Asahinas, who's got the clear air, no doubt about that. Leon then comes into the pit lane, and Janol stays out. So Leon's going for the undercut here onto a set of medium tyres, and away he goes. Meanwhile, the Racing Point of Leroy goes onto a set of hard tyres. So there really is a split strategy. These drivers are sort of indecisive between the mediums and the hards as a general. Here is Z3 then looking to make a move on Bag of Bones as we head up towards turn 3. Z3 around the outside. This is Bag of Bones, who's on 12 lap old soft tyres. And Z3 is on the same age tyre, but he's on the hard tyres. So at the moment, he probably has the delta as we head now down towards turn 4. And Z3 in the Mercedes has to go around the outside if he wants to make this move stick, which he does then. So he's ahead of the Haas of Bag of Bones. So Z3 up to 6th place.
I think both Nexus Legend and Skeeven have kind of ruined their chances for the race win here. I don't know too much yet, but I'm surprised that Skeeven especially, he's not reacted to gone to the pits. And I did say before these two spin now, I was surprised about the fact that no one really reacted after I think it was Ollie who came into the pits first. Yes, it was. I was surprised that no one's reacted. And if you look where Ollie is now, he's ahead of Leon, he's ahead of Leroy, he's ahead of Legend, he's ahead of everyone. He's just suddenly come out, and now he's technically provisionally the leader of this race, depending on where Janol is.
Here's Westy getting a move done on Ulbrich then as we make our way up towards turn 3. I don't think Ulbrich put up too much of a fight there as we head it up towards turn 3. Meanwhile, Flavel and Janol, they make contact there just before turn 3, but Flavel is stamping his authority down. But this is Janol now, who's on the medium tyres, so he's on a softer compound tyres. He's got some DRS as well as we make our way down towards turn 4. The man from Jersey, Flavel, defends the inside line. Janol will have to go the long way round if he wants to try and find a move past. He can't quite do it, and now Flavel, who was really towards the back of that train early on in the race, now pretty much leads that train.
It's amazing. Great strategy call from him and the McLaren team. Unfortunate for Skeeven, obviously, because of what happened to him, and obviously Nexus Legend himself is now right down in 14th place, and probably going to struggle from traffic a little bit. I'm not sure if Rob's still here. He is, so he may struggle a little bit from traffic, but yeah. So Ollie now leads this race from Janor. I believe Leon's lost out. He's now in 3rd place currently at this moment.
Well, provisionally 3rd at the moment, because of course the drivers ahead of them now still have to stop. But this is the problem now. They've got Slater up ahead of them, battling Bag of Bones. And here is Janol, meanwhile, looking to go around the outside at turn 3 here. It's going to be very close between them. Janol's going to try and go around the outside here. Flavel is going to try and close the door. Too late for that then. And Janol will have the DRS run down towards turn 4. Watch out for Leon as well as we make our way towards the braking zone of the next corner. And Leon just about gets the move done on the McLaren. He runs into the back slightly of Janol there. I don't think there's any damage to that Williams there. But Janol takes away what is right now 6th place. Leon takes full advantage and goes up to 7th place, and Flavel there on those hard tyres may start to struggle now. He might not have the pace that the medium tyre runners have.
He won't, but you've got to take people in consideration. I expect the mediums to really drop off towards the end of this race, which will be very good for Ollie. If Ollie can keep up with it, and also Taze Leroy, don't put him out of the equation just yet. If he can keep up with the 2 front runners, I think it could be a very interesting race to do it. Really interesting end to this race.
Well, we're into the next DRS zone. They just keep coming at you thick and fast. Leon closing on Janol as we make our way up towards turn 3. He might not try and move this time around, but he'll look to try and get the exit of turn 3 spot on there. Try and negate the wheel spin as much as possible. DRS wide open, then riding on board with the championship leader, trying to close in on Janol then as we make our way down towards turn 4. Not quite close enough to try and move, and there is Flavel there, still sticking with them though. What he'll be hoping, a little bit of a moment on the exit of turn 4 there in towards turn 5. What he'll be hoping, Flavel, is that Janol and Leon start battling for position, because what will that mean is that they won't be able to get away as quickly as they might be able to if they were just on their own.
if you go by what they were doing on the sauce, it's very close. They're battling lap in, lap out, and I'm going to keep going back to what Leroy said about this being a slipstream train, a DRS train, and it's just going to keep. They're going to keep battling, I believe, till the end of the race, unless can somehow get out of that DRS zone of Leon. But Leon looks like he has the pace. Just go back to his lap time in qualifying, and 1:03. The only man to get into that 1:03. But that's a different session and all that, and he's on different tyres and all. If he can just get that groove on that soft, on the medium tyres that he did on the softs, I really think this could be very interesting if he can just keep up with
Janol here will benefit from DRS, but Slater here hasn't stopped yet. So for Janol, all of these cars in front of him haven't stopped yet. They have no. They don't have to let him pass at all. And it looks like Slater there's looking like he's trying to put up a little bit of a fight. But yeah, you're trying to say about Bag of Bones.
He's on soft tyres, 16 lap on soft tyres. If he can cause a problem for and especially Leon as well. If you look at that, James Slater has been able to hold Leon up a little bit, and Leon's got to wait till the next corner. So that's interesting because has probably more pace to get away. And look at James, he's literally hogging the track from Leon. Leon has cost Leon a lot of time, and probably even the runners behind Leon as well. Right now, Ollie gets a little bit too much back of James as well. James Slater's he's holding everyone up at the moment, but obviously he has the right to do that since he's not a lap behind, and also he still has to get to make a stop, so he's still fighting for position.
Leroy throws it up the inside at turn 3 and gets the full dividends. He now moves up to 6th place and ahead of Flavel as they now make their way down towards turn 4. But you're absolutely right, Slater has no obligation to move to one side. He's obviously thinking, you know what, if I can just battle a little bit, it costs them time, it could add to my strategy, because of course he started the race on those hard tyres. He's looking to put the soft tyres on towards the end of the race. He doesn't really want to lose that much time, and obviously the way he thinks is by doing that is just by sticking to his own racing line. Here comes Skeeven then up the inside in towards turn 9. That time Slater does back out of it and realises you can't go too wide.
Look how much time he's got up. He's now less than a second than Ollie. At one point, I swear it was like 3 seconds between the two of them. He's caught up so much from James there, who's helped him a lot there. And could we see a battle between these two McLarens as well?
We could do. That depends if there's any team orders. There's Z3, the next of the runners there that haven't stopped. So Westy, Albrecht and Z3 all haven't stopped in this race so far. That will be a little bit of an advantage to Janol here. I wonder what Z3 is going to do. Will he put up a fight, or will he just move to one side? I don't think he's trying to put up a fight. There is Janol then down the inside in towards turn number 4 and gets the move done. Meanwhile, Leon there and Z3 running side by side through turn 5, and Leon takes that position away. Z3 just backs out of the move and realises, you know what, I'm in my own race. I can't afford to battle with you right now.
I believe he got rid of Z3 much quicker and much easier than Janol did, to be honest. I think Leon benefited from that, and Janol could be in trouble here because Leon is obviously now going to have DRS. I don't know if Janol is going to, because he's 1.7 seconds behind, and although he's catching, this is very beneficial for Leon. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a move into turn 3, maybe through this.
I'll tell you something as well. The next car these guys are approaching is Albrecht, who is a teammate of Janol. I wonder if Albrecht's going to put up a fight for Leon. Maybe Leon here will try and move down the inside at turn number 3. Puts it up the inside. It's very tight there, but Leon gets the move done and has the DRS then. So he takes 3rd place away from Janol then as we head our way down towards turn 4. But honestly, you've just got to be within that train. You've just got to be on the pace there, and you've got a chance of getting a really, really good position. So as I said before, Leon is now approaching Albrecht. He's approaching an Alfa Romeo with an Alfa Romeo challenging him for what could be a potential race win. Stay tuned, grab the popcorn. I wonder how this one's going to go down.
It could be very close. I mean, I don't know if Janol and Albrecht are communicating with each other, but if Jonas and Janol are, then this could be very interesting. If you just hold up Leon as much as you can, stay out for as long as you can. Despite his tyres probably being quite weared out, I'm sure Janol would really love Jonas to hold him up. I don't know if he's going to do it or not, just depends really, because if you look here, Leon has DRS, and it's almost inevitable he's going to pass.
Yeah, Albrecht just sort of moves to one side there as we head our way
That
towards
is not
turn
helping
3.
his teammate.
Oh, that really hasn't helped. Oh no! That's the opposite of what we thought was going to happen. Well, in the background there,
his teammate. He's ruined his race pretty much. His race win can still be got, but that's not saved him time at all.
No, absolutely not there, and the complete opposite is what happened there. I think Albrecht tried to get out of the way as much as possible, but of course, if you're on the inside for turn 3, you're right on the apex there, and that is when Janol just approached his teammate. Nothing really Janol could have done there. As we head over the crest and towards turn 9, I think Janol's patience will be wearing very thin here.
He's still stuck behind him. The more he gets stuck behind him, because Uranus is on older tyres and Leon's just getting away every single second. I don't even know is he in a second still? You know, I'm not 100% sure.
We're about to find out.
He might not be. His teammate is a little bit everywhere at the moment. I don't know if that's just the lobby in general. Yeah, he's 1 second behind now. How much time he's lost to Leon?
Here's Leroy, looking to try and make a move on Albrecht, braking as late as he possibly can in towards turn 3. And now he's got to try and focus on the exit there. Ooh, a little bit of locking wheels there, any more than that. And that could have been both cars being sent around there. But Leroy just about gets the move done. Skeven then getting a move past on Z3, so he now moves up to 5th place. Z3 running as long as possible to try and get as the fewest laps possible on the soft tyres. That will get him to the end of the race so he can drive as quickly as he possibly can and not worry about the tyres pretty much melting to the canvas. Skeven now is next to try and move on Albrecht then. Albrecht moves to the right hand side as we head towards turn 9. I wonder if this is him committing to pit lane entry, and it is. Yeah, that's why he's so tight on entry there. That's what you have to do as Albrecht now comes into the pit. I'll tell you what, Janol is not going to be a very happy bunny after this race. I wouldn't want to be in the Alfa Romeo debrief room after this one.
Also, if you haven't noticed, Leroy has got DRS, but Janol hasn't, so Leroy's got much more of a chance. As we see him get 3-second time penalty there. I'm not sure who's got what penalties at this current point, but Leroy, he's going to keep catching up to Janol, but Janol is going to stay the same, really, isn't he? Because he hasn't got DRS there. He's just got to basically depend on his ERS, which he's using quite a lot at the moment.
Nice battle here between Legend and Forbes there, as we have yellow flags in Sector 1. And I'm just trying to think who that is. Oh, it's Asahino around at turn 1, that's what that is. So he's obviously spun up onto the curbs there, and those rear tyres will be overheating like anything. And so that would be even tougher to get them back down to temperature, because of course they are the harder tyres, the hardest tyres I should say, here in Austria. But Legend is still trying to put some pressure on Forbes here. What could have been a promising challenge for a race win has ended up with a scrap for 8th place there for Legend. So yeah, we wanted to try and pick up as many points as he possibly can. It won't necessarily help him in his championship hunt, but at the moment, with 13 laps to go, it is Leon who leads, from Janol in 2nd, Leroy in 3rd, with Skeven 4th. Z3 is in 5th, but yet to stop in this race. Skeven, meanwhile, looking for a move up the inside of Leroy there. Very tight between the two of them. Made contact going through turn 3, and Skeven here on the medium tyres, maybe just rewarding to be a little bit more patient. He's now going up the inside at turn 4 there, looking to try and get the better exit out of the corner, better drive through turn 4, then on towards turn 5. Leroy still has the inside line for turn 6, and he's going to try and keep it there as well. This is great battling between the two of them now as they head their way through turn number 7 on towards turn 8, and they're giving each other plenty of room then through that S section up the crest and towards turn 9. You can see that Leroy has the better exit out of turn 9. This is really not where you want to be side by side there, and Skeven, although he lost control momentarily, managed to pick it back up and be in full control once again. But yeah, turns 9 and 10, that is not the place you want to be side by side.
Janos has caught right up to Leon again. Wow, he caught up quite quickly, to be fair, considering how much time he had to make up and how fast Leon has relatively been, and quite consistent as well.
Steven once again going for a move up the inside in towards turn 3, but runs a little bit deep into the corner, and Leroy simply takes that position straight back from him. Leroy also has DRS going down towards turn 4, so he'll say thank you very much for that one. Steven, meanwhile, still, even without the DRS, was able to close in on Leroy thanks to the slipstream. So really determined battling from Steven here. He's determined to get that podium place. With around about 8 or 7 laps to go, Sam, you're going to have to check the penalties, because I have not kept track whatsoever. It's just been so much action happening out on track.
Well, I believe Leon has not got a penalty at all. Yano, on the other hand, he's just got 1 warning, but I believe Leon has got 2 warnings. I know Leroy's got a penalty because I did pick up on that. He's got a 3-second penalty. Steven at the moment, he has also got a penalty of some sort, but I'm not sure obviously what it is. And then Ollie's got quite a few penalties actually. There's 3 there to pick up from, so I don't think Ollie is going to be winning this race anytime soon unless something absolutely crazy happens. Rob Forbes, has he made a pit stop? He has made a pit stop, so it's an interesting race he's had so far, because I believe he's starting in the back. Correct me if I'm wrong, he's actually starting 9th. Nexus, has he got anything? No, just a warning on the first lap. A lot of people have got warnings on the overlap, but really everyone has kept themselves clean. I mean, Ollie, maybe not. Ollie will have to watch out for Forbes. If Forbes can close in a couple more seconds from Ollie, Ollie could be seeing himself in 6th place here, maybe even 7th from Nexus.
Well, absolutely. Leon looking for his 5th race win of the season here at round number 9. And can he try and hold on the best he can to try and claim that one? And when he crosses the line, there will be 10 laps to go here in Austria. Westy, meanwhile, is now the next driver to have a go at Legend here as we make our way now in towards turn 9, then on towards turn 10. Westy is on the soft tyres, currently has the fastest lap of the race. And of course it splits into 2 here in one hump. I'll come back to that in a second, as Westy has the DRS and a great run on Legend here as we head our way towards turn number 1. Westy originally backed out of the move there, but Legend did the same as well. Steven again up the inside at turn 3 there and parks it on the apex. Leroy this time though will have some DRS down towards turn 4. Watch out for the lead battle as well, as Janos goes right up. Leroy here looking for a move down the inside at turn 4 there, looking to try and thread the needle there. They come very close together as we make our way now through turn 5 and onwards towards turn 6. Steven this time has the inside line, the Racing Point has the outside line. Still side by side they run as we head through turn 7 and then onwards towards turn 8. Oh, they do come together! They do come together, and the Racing Point's off into the wall and loses a huge chunk of front wing there. Steven is able to drive away. I'm not sure if he has damage to the car as well. I don't think he does, you know. I think he's able to carry on. But
that was bound to happen, wasn't it? Those two side by side almost every lap. It was bound to happen.
Well, it was just the move at turn 8 was the move too far there for the 2 of them. I'm sure the stewards will be having a look at that after this race. Meanwhile, then
he's backed out of it again. Maybe he's trying to close in for this next DRS bit.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Down towards turn 4. Of course, he does have that DRS running towards turn 4. Yanul is looking to try and take away Leon's 5th race win of the season. And it looks like he's trying to claim one for himself. I'm just trying to have a look in the standings for him. He hasn't actually scored a points this season yet, but he has been a mid-season driver, and Leroy has left the session. That's unfortunate because he could have gone for the fastest lap outside of the top 10. That's still worth 1 point, but obviously he won't be able to have a chance to get that now. Yanor will be hoping to put his first points on the table for the season. Of course, joined midway through. Yeah, maybe even a race win. So let's see how that develops then as we head on towards lap 29. That means there's 8 laps to go here in Austria. Leon leads from Janul in 2nd. Flavel is in 3rd with Steven running in 4th. Westy still in 5th place there, having started from the back of the grid. Westy is currently in 5th place and looking like he's trying to challenge the McLaren here as we head towards turn 1. He has. That's why he's got so much pace. Now with some DRS, making his way up towards turn number 3. Yanor, meanwhile, running on board with him as Westy has got the move done in towards turn 3. Up the inside he goes. Meanwhile, Leon defending as we head in towards turn 4. There's 2 battles here going on at the same time. Meanwhile, though, Westy has got 4th place away from Steven, and he now moves up to 4th place. C3, meanwhile, gets away past that's Clone there with Albrecht right behind. This battle for 8th place right now becomes the battle for 9th place as Stone looks for a move up the inside of C3, but the door was always closing. You couldn't try and find that move through. Well, I have to say, Sam, this race has been edge of the seat stuff. There has not been any rest play whatsoever.
Not at all, and you've got to think about penalties as well. What you said about Westy, he's up to 4th place. He may even get 3rd place because I mentioned that Ollie, he has, I think, a 9-second penalty, and I don't think I saw a penalty from Westy. I may have seen one, but right now, if that's the case, he'll still be able to get that 3rd place.
Sorry to cut across your hat, Sam. Here is Janul up the inside at turn 3, and he's taken away the position. Janul now leads here in Spielberg, but Leon will have some DRS as we make our way now down towards turn 4. We got yellow flags out on track. I believe that's Asahina, but Leon there, yeah, having to stay behind the Alfa Romeo, and so Janul takes the lead of the race from Forbes then. Meanwhile, ahead of Legend, and Legend running in 7th place. Albrecht then getting away past Nexus Crone. He's now up to 9th place, but he's now got Slater right behind him. That's a battle for the last point scoring position. Crone is not going to have any of that though, looking for a move up the inside, very, very close to tapping that rear wheel, but very, very good to back out of that move when he could. Meanwhile, rejoining the lead battle here as we make our way through the final quarter and onwards towards the first corner. We have 6 laps to go here in Austria. Up the hill we go, and we make our way in towards that first corner.
You know, it's got a way better exit there. Way better. If you just notice, if you're on board with Leon, Leon went well deep into turn 1. You know, he's got the better exit. He's gonna stick into the lead here, into this corner as well. He's getting the better exits out of the corners now, and that's come to show how much. Because obviously Leon's laps, his tyres are a lap older, and starting to begin to show really. As he comes up right behind him as well, it's starting to show the lap times between the two mediums. I don't think Ollie can challenge now, but Westy can definitely keep in the chance for podium here.
He could well be, and that's from 17th on the grid from the very back. Meanwhile, Slater then getting a move done on Albrecht, and so the Red Bull driver now finds himself up to 9th place. We've got yellow flags again in sector 2. And that is Forbes there, who has front wing damage right hand side of that Mercedes. So he's.
Where's he got that then?
Well,
also got that from Legend, I'm guessing, because it's nowhere near Skeever. I guess Legend's the only scenario, unless he's hit a barrier or something. But oh, he's hit that. I do not know.
Could well have done because it was covered by yellow flags, so something's definitely happened there to Forbes. Meanwhile then Leon looking for a move past Janul here up towards turn 3, trying to brake later, trying to use the outside line. No doing there. Forbes then picks up a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Then yellow flags in sector 3 as that is Forbes retiring from the session altogether. Leon looking for that gap down the inside at turn 4. Janul was determined not to open that door anymore, and not at all opening that door whatsoever then, as Leon then still staying behind then in 2nd place. Well, as I said before, Janul has not scored a point this season. That's because he was a mid-season transfer brought in by Alfa Romeo and is looking now to try and take a race win here at Austria. What a story that would be for Janul, battling away with Leon there. They are about 4 seconds clear of Flavel, but of course we've got penalties to take on board as well. 4 laps to go here in Austria, and Janul is just doing what he can to keep ahead, but Leon is close to him now, exiting turn 1. That's a really good exit from the Williams this time around. Janul's going to have his hands full here as we make our way through turn 2. Janul defends the inside line then, as Leon will have to go the long way round. This might
flags. That is going to be that's Westy. Westy is, I think, Skeeven as well. Are them 2 touched or something? I'm not sure. I don't think he was anywhere near.
There's damage to the Ferrari. Meanwhile, then Leon trying to find a move around the outside.
That's podium chances, hasn't it?
Couldn't quite do it. Yeah, for Westy, that would have ruined chances of a podium there, as he now picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Z3 now moves up to P5, and Legend in this crazy race now he's up to 4th place.
Obviously Ollie as well, he's got penalties with Nexus. If Legend can just, if he can close the gap by a little bit, he might be able to actually beat Ollie at the moment. I'm not 100% sure if Nexus got a penalties. I believe I said he didn't, so That's interesting to go by. If Ollie gets any penalties, I don't know if he's picked up a 5-second penalty for speeding the pit lane or something. But all of that can come into play, and Nexus could actually get a podium here and actually keep very close to the title race. But really, out of all the three of them, it could be a good, or it could actually be a disaster for
This could be a great chance for Leon. Then he's got the DRS, got a great exit out of turn 3, and does take back the lead of the race. Janul thought about a move up the inside, but now Leon back into the lead of the race. Now, after this crazy race, it feels like we've been here just commentating over the entire season, so much has happened right now. But Leon, championship leader, currently leading the race. Flavel, second place in the championship, currently in third. Legend, currently third in the championship, now in fourth place after that spin early on in this race. So for Legend here, just keeping his head down after that mistake has meant that he's now up in fourth place. It's a really good drive from him so far.
Yeah, and like I said again, he could get third if he could just close up a little bit more. Or if Ollie makes another mistake, I'm not sure how many seconds he's lost. I'm sure Nexus is trying to get so much from his engineer about that, so how many seconds. And as we speak, Janul's making another move on Leon. Leon's not defending the line there. It's very close between the two. Leon, I think, carried more speed in there. They've touched a little bit as well. It's very close between these two.
He has some DRS there, moves to the left-hand side of the track then, and retakes the lead at the Austrian Grand Prix here. But he's looking Leon down the inside. This is so close between the two of them then, as they both now make their way up towards the left-hander of turn number 7. Again, very close to the back of that rear wing then is Leon. But he's not going to give up on this one. We're going to stick with these two for the remainder of the race, because this is going to be a titanic battle towards the end of this race then. Heading now through turn 9, on board with Leon as we make our way on towards turn 10. Janul will come around the final corner, gone slightly wide at turn 10. Leon here, I don't think he'll try and move into turn 1. I think he'll back out of this one. He'll prioritise the run into turn 3 and maybe even towards turn 4. That will be his last chance really to salvage something, but it's not a great exit out of turn 1. Janul started this lap in the lead of the race. He started the final lap. And Flavel does have that 3-second time penalty. You're absolutely right. Leon, meanwhile, running right on the rear wing of Janul then. He's got to try and get this exit out of turn 3 right. He's still on the back of that Alfa Romeo, so we make our way now down towards turn 4. Janul goes defensive on the inside there. Leon will have to go around the outside. He's trying to stick it there. No, he gets onto the curb and he runs a little bit too deep into the corner. Janul then has held on, and he's only really got one more sector to go then as he makes his way through turn 7. Leon is going to be chasing him all the way then as we head through turn 8, over the crest and down towards turn 9, and then finally around the final corner at turn 10. Not really any options for Leon. Janul goes deep into turn 9. He'll try and optimise the exit out of turn 10. It's going to be a run to the line, but it is going to be Janul who wins in Austria by 2/10 of a second. What a win for Janul. It's his first win of the season. It's his first point scoring haul of the season. That will have felt really good for Janul, but it is Leon in second. Legend up to third then with Flavel's penalties. At Slater up to 5th with Z3 finishing in 6th place then. Albrecht, Clone and Bagabones heading towards the line, and that is Clone jumping up to 6th place then. A lot of penalties happening. Albrecht down to 8th place, Bagabones in 9th. Ronline will be the last of the finishers on the lead lap to pick up the last point scoring position. But Janul there, in all the drama, wow, that's 0.225 seconds separating the two drivers then. And of course, after that race then, Legend still got third place by keeping his head down, and that shows what can happen. If you make a mistake, there's no point retiring. Get back on there, get back on the horse, because Legend there has taken third place away from this race then. We're just waiting for Ron Line now to head towards the start-finish line to finish off this one, as well as Asahina. But this is really the respite that we needed, Sam, after such a hectic race. It has been a fantastic 36 laps, and by 2/10 of a second, Janul takes his first race win of the season here in Austria.
Wow, what a race, honestly. I didn't know who was going to win that, and it could have been actually a potential of like 6 drivers at one point. Obviously, 4 of them ended up not getting close at all, but still, what a race, and it could have been anyone's win, but at the end, wins this race, and him and Leon are definitely two strong candidates for driver of the day, though, because they both drove a consistent and very good race, and I believe they deserve to be on the podium. And Nexus as well, like you said, he kept his head down, and although he was fourth, but due to penalties, he's up to third, and he put his head down, he concentrated, made sure he didn't make any mistakes like that, like Flavel did. Flavel he pushed a bit too much, tried to get in this battle, but he was nowhere near in the end. He's ended up finishing fourth.
Well then, here are your unofficial results then for One Hub Racing in the Pinnacle Tier. Janul takes his first race win of the season with Leon in second. It's Legend in third, Flavel in fourth, with Slater in fifth, Clone in sixth, with Z3 in seventh, Albrecht in eighth, Bag of Bones in ninth, and Ronline rounds out the top 10. Leroy, who didn't finish the race as a human, if you like, Unknown in 12th, Praga again not finishing and not getting to the checker flag as a human car, Asahina, Westy, Skeven and Forbes all retiring from the race. And it comes to the driver of the day then, Sam. We're both going to pick. We're both going to be wrong anyway. So let's go for it. How about you, Sam? Your driver of the day.
There's a lot to go from. You've got Z3 who's come from the back. You could have said Westy if he didn't retire. Obviously, what happened to him? I believe James has a very good race as well, but in my opinion, it has to go to Janul. He just kept it strong, kept it there, just waited for his moment, and he took his moment, well. He defended brilliantly against Leon on the final lap, because Leon was coming like a bullet, like a steam train, almost trying to get Janul to make a mistake, but Janul just defended that inside line. He hogged the track on the final lap, and he's a deserving winner, so he's my driver of the day, to be honest.
Well, you're going to have someone winning the race as the driver of the day. My driver of the day, I think, is going to go to Z3. Showed really, really strong pace throughout, and if it wasn't for the penalties, he would have finished really, really high up in the order. So I think, having started from 16th place, then to get into, I think it was 7th place, a really, really good drive from Z3, so he's going to be my driver of the day, and that is the choice you'll get between them on Twitter at One Hub Racing. The polls will be live tomorrow, and you'll get the choice to decide who was the driver of the day. Was it your race winner Janul, or was it driver starting from 16th with a really good recovery drive, Z3? You get to pick. That's your pick. That's the two of them. We're going to be wrong, but we can talk about that later. But I have to say as well, adding to the fact we didn't go over to the fastest lap of the race. Now, obviously you're new to this, Sam, but the fastest lap of the race rule applies to the top 10 and then anyone outside of the top 10 as well, as an incentive to stay in the race. So those who retired late on would have really relinquished that chance, but we'll have to confirm with the official results that will come out. I think they'll come out next week, the official results, once the stewards have decided the actual result there. But yeah, well, I am out of breath, Sam. That's the best way I can describe it. How was your debut in the commentary box?
I think it's probably better than my race. My race is pretty lonely. I was by myself the whole time, and this race just made me feel all warm, and I just wanted to be a part of this race, to be honest. I wanted something like this, to be honest, because this race was very close. There was battles all over the track, and really, in some sense, there was so much at stake between Ollie, Legend and Leon, and obviously Leon's come out on top, but also the fact that, he's entered One Hub. I believe this is his first race. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's really done well to get the race win today, and very strong drive, and kept it clean, kept it consistent. And same with Leon as well. It was very close, but in my opinion, I feel like Leon could have done that little bit more to keep in the lead. I felt like defending was, I wouldn't say poor, but I'll say defending wise, I think he was absolutely stunning, to be honest. Kept it well in the middle of the track. He knew when to make sure that he's protecting the inside line, and he made sure that Leon could not get past. And he's rightfully won this race, in my opinion.
Well then, Sam, it sounds like you've enjoyed yourself up here, and What I will, what I will say is make sure you follow the league on Twitter at OneHub Racing as well. This great race, just like all races in OneHub, is sponsored by Next Level Racing. You can follow them on Twitter at NextLVL Racing. Whilst you're there, you can also follow me on Twitter if you like at KSMCGF1, and you can follow Sam whilst you're there as well. Sam, tell him your handle. What do you call it these days? Handle? Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure what you call it. I just need to go back because I barely say my at any time. I just go by my name. My at is just EPR S Thompson. Just that. Pretty simple, pretty easy. If you want to follow me, that's what it is.
And that would be very, very lovely indeed. Well, next week we go racing at the British Grand Prix, so hopefully you can join us then. Make sure now you tune into the Prestige tier. Join Alex as he commentates over some of the cream of the crop here in OneHub. But until next time, thank you very much for watching. I've been Kieran McGinley.
I've been Sam Thompson.
Take care of yourselves, and we will see you again next time.